Jeffrey lies in the comment sections of our videos.
Oh, well, I've been on self-improvement for years anyway, and Hamza's wrong because playing 1 hour of video games and watching 1 hour of anime a day is fine at the end of a hard day because I work for 25 hours a day, and then when I come home, it's time for me to unwind, so 1 hour is fine. Wait, Jeffrey, you don't really believe that, do you? Wait, no, he's about to switch on. Oh, Jeffrey, as soon as you turn on the screen, you're gonna lose a few hours of your life. Isn't there anything that could pull Jeffrey away from this addiction? Adonis. Adonis says the words just 1 hour a day too. But he's not talking about the bad habits that Jeffrey's talking about. He's talking about meditation and journaling and reading and helping the orphans. We all have the same hours in the day, but Adonis just gets so much more done. When he's interviewed about his secret to productivity, he says, well, I just choose to stay productive and only do things that help me. Wow. What a great mindset. Earlier this year, I was in the middle of nowhere in Scotland with my ex-girlfriend, and I was still doing, my business work and everything. And I had the idea that me and my girl and then my brother and his wife, we should all go on to like a Discord, like a Zoom call together as like a little team meeting because everyone kind of worked inside of my company. My girl didn't, but my brother and his wife did. And I said as like a little bonding exercise, we can all play video games together, which I know sounds crazy. I have like a self-improvement channel. I don't play games or watch movies or those kinds of things. But I was like, fuck it. It's been like literally years since I've ever played. So let's just have like a funny moment. Me and my brother, when we were children, we used to play this video game called RuneScape. It's one where you like create your character and then you can genuinely spend like thousands of hours leveling up your character in it. So I said to him, let's just play RuneScape for a night with our women, be funny. We'll just go and fuck around and do some quests and stuff, right? And he thought it was a great idea. So we all hop on this call on Discord. There's my rectangle, my video camera there, then my girl's one there, then my brother's his wife, sorry. And they're making a cup of tea, getting snacks. It's proper wholesome because it's just we've not had this much of a casual time together, randomly playing video games or anything. So it was really nice to do this. We all end up making our accounts and, we're goofing around. My brother's character is fully black for some reason. He's got black and purple hair or some shit like that. And we all spawn, we're just fucking around. Me and my brother are taking the girls through the tutorial island, which teaches you how to play. And they're a lot slower than we are because we're nerds and we've played this game 25 times. So we no, okay, you click here, you open the door, you do this little thing, you have to type something, some bullshit. They're reading the dialogue word by word and everything and literally deciding which option for the NPC dialogue they should press when I know, okay, you space 1 2 space 2. We get out into the normal world of RuneScape and we start fucking around. We're following people saying racist stuff to them and just fucking around doing random side missions where we've got to go help this random guy who's running and doing a quest and we've all following him for no reason. We end up having a really good 1 or 2 hours. Everyone's laughing. It's so good to see my family. Yeah, we really enjoy it. And then everyone logs off the video game. My brother, his wife, my girl, my ex-girlfriend, they don't play anymore. The next day, I wake up and instinctively the first thing I do is open up the same video game. And my mindset is oh yeah, I'll just have it on the side, right? And I'll just let it kind of play AFK away from keyboard, kind of automatically. I'll be getting some levels and I'll just do my work. And I've basically just playing it because I haven't set up the thing that, lets you sort of passively gain levels. A few hours later, my girl wakes up, she walks in and she almost bursts out laughing. She's are you still playing the video game? You did come to bed last night, right? We're just laughing and oh yeah, whatever, you're just playing it a little bit. I play almost all day that day. And the next, and the next, and the next, and for weeks. And so 2 weeks go by and I'm playing this game I'm not playing the game actually, let me change my sentence. I'm grinding. 2 weeks of grinding. And anyone who's ever played this game, RuneScape, before, when I tell you what level I got to, you'd be surprised. I got to level 90 in 2 weeks. That took me about 5 years when I was a child. Obviously, my prefrontal cortex is developed now, so I knew what I was doing. But it took me literally, when I started playing this game when I was a kid,
It took me about 5 years to get to combat level 90. It took me 2 weeks because I played it for literally about 10 hours a day. And I kept on coping with, you know what, it's kind of productive because I just keep it on the side and I do more of this sort of like passive grinding, like, you know, where you can like click on a monster and you kill it in like 45 seconds. So for 45 seconds, you can like do a little bit of work or some shit like that. Like I was coping for that. And I was coping for like, oh, but you know, it's my downtime. It's close to Christmas. Christmas was like 3 weeks ago at this point. Like I'm fucking brown. I don't even celebrate Christmas as well. But I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm making up all these excuses. Till eventually it just kind of hits me and I'm like, wait, what the fuck am I doing really? Like it's kind of fun and everything. But the work that I'm doing with this game, like on the side, is definitely not as good as the work that I'd be doing with just full, complete focus. And so I remember I end up just deleting the game, telling my girl, and, you know, we're both laughing about it. And we talk about like my sort of addictive personality, where we look back, where a few weeks ago, we had all played for like 1 or 2 hours together. And I was the guy who just ended up basically getting addicted to the game and continuing to grind after that. It makes me think that in the last few years when I've been making these videos, I've been so strict on not playing video games, not like, you know, eating the junk food or not whatever, doing any of the bad habits. Like that's the advice that I've given out. And I think obviously that's biased from my own life experience because I'm the kind of guy who can't really control those things. So when I hear of young men who ask me the question, just 1 hour of video games, like, isn't that fine? You know, I work really hard. Can I not just play 1 hour? My advice has always been like, no. Because I can't. Because these things have been made to be super addictive. Now, is there people out there who can genuinely just play for like 1 hour a few times a week? Yes. Honestly, yes. If that's you and you play in a really, really healthy way, you play video games or, you know, you've got screen time or movies or whatever it is, and you do it in such a healthy way where you hop on with some friends and it's super wholesome and stuff, okay, fair enough. Like 3 hours a week like that, okay. Can be really fun, awesome. But I think for the majority of video gamers, for the guys who are watching Netflix and movies and these kinds of like time-consuming habits, you can't just do 1 hour. Like anyone who's ever played video games, and especially games like League of Legends will tell you, right? So I remember being in like end of high school, 16, 17 years old, and downloading League of Legends for the first time and starting to play it. I ended up coming into this class once where I had like my sort of old high school friends who I wasn't really super close to anymore. But I'm sat down next to one of them for the first time in a while, and he says, oh, there's this new game that we're all playing. Would you want to join us? And I'm like, oh, which game is it? And he goes, League of Legends. And I was already like fucking good at this game. You know, not like a fucking Korean challenger rank or anything, but you know, as like 16-year-olds go, I was getting 20 kills per game or something, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, I already play, let's go at each other and let's play together, right? And I was only allowed to play 1 hour a day at this point, right? So my dad had like put some restriction on my laptop, like he downloaded some fucking software where it literally like would shut my laptop off after I had 1 hour of like activity per day. And this is what people don't understand about playing 1 hour a day. As soon as you fucking like start, you don't have 1 hour. It's like you've got 59 minutes, 59 seconds. And that shit goes down fast, right? So when you're sat there, like, you know, look, this was like back on the days of having Skype, right? You go onto Skype on a call and it takes you like 5 minutes just to like enter the call and, you know, talk to people. Okay, let's all play the game. Let's all get, you know, you have to like enter the lobby together. You're waiting for the one dickhead who's like making some food right now. He's taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You're waiting for this guy who's doing this thing. Suddenly you get into the game when you've got 35 minutes left. And then the game, like, you know, it takes 4 minutes, 5 minutes to set up. Everyone's choosing the character. There's the big loading screen because someone's got a fucking shit internet or someone's got a crappy computer or something. You get inside, 20 minutes of fun, you know, it's so awesome. Yeah, you know, I'm going to play for an hour. But wait, it's already been 40 minutes of you, like, just loading up the fucking game. And then when it gets to 20 minutes in and you're like, my PC's going to shut off any minute and we're winning. And I'm telling my guys, like, guys, you know, it doesn't really look good. I think we should just forfeit. They're like, it can't be weird. Like, why would we forfeit? We can easily win right now. It's, you know, it's fairly even. I was too embarrassed to admit that my dad put this restriction on my like laptop's going to turn off any minute now. I'd be like, oh yeah, guys, you know, I think I'm lagging. Am I lagging? No. Oh yeah, I think I'm lagging. And then laptop shuts off. That was my 1 hour. When you have just 1 hour, it's not enough for this modern addiction. It's not enough for the modern video games. It's not enough for the modern TV shows and all of that. I don't know any person who watches like Netflix and only watches like one episode per night. I don't know any video gamer who really likes video games but genuinely plays like 59 minutes per day, it's always 1.5 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours a night. And then with that, I just have to ask you, like, is that what the highest possible version of you would do? Is it really? Just sat there in like a dark room grinding away by yourself, hoping to get some kind of feeling of status and progression in the virtual world rather than in real life. Is that the highest version of you? Now, could the highest version of you be someone who enjoys games socially? Yeah, genuinely, I'm realizing that's a pretty like wholesome thing to do. The same way that you could play board games with people around you in like a circle, you're all hanging out for the day, getting dinner or something. It's the same way that, you could go play Minecraft with like your old childhood friend when you guys reconnected, you used to play together. Like, that's wholesome as fuck, right? Fair enough. But when it turns into you doing it by yourself, that's when it gets problematic. It's very similar to like alcohol and some of those other drugs. If you go to like a party and you drink a little bit, or maybe you smoke some weed, it's not really a good habit, but it's like, you know what? It's kind of understandable, right? It's kind of understandable. You could say, no, I'm Muslim, it's haram and stuff. Absolutely, fair enough. But you can kind of understand, okay, you know what? I understand why young people will go out to like a party and drink and whatever. But now imagine that young person comes back from the party, he's in his room by himself, and he keeps drinking. That is fucked. That's what video games by yourself feels like. Like when you're playing socially with a big group of people, you're laughing, you're all like, talking about stuff, you're sharing stories, and it's a bonding moment. Fair enough. When you start grinding by yourself, it's like being a dirty alcoholic, like you've just got this full-on addiction that's taking you away from the normal world. By the way, the second link in the description is a place where you can tell the story of your self-improvement journey. Scroll down to the description of this video and click on that second link right now to join your new community. It's the same with like junk food, and people say like, oh, it's only 200 or 500 calories a day. It's not, because when you're the kind of guy who has 500 calories of junk food per day, you're also the kind of guy who has like a day where you have like 2,000 or 4,000 calories randomly once every week or 2 weeks, right? So it's like, it's way worse because you've already kind of opened up that seal. You're the kind of person who does that thing. I want you to do this right now. Just close your eyes and imagine you're sat on like an interview table. You're going to interview someone very important. Really visualize this in your mind, okay? And the person who's about to walk in is the highest possible version of you. He's older than you. He looks super mature and wise. Just visualize like every small detail that you could think of right now. You just see this version of you walk in and sit down, and he's going to give you some advice. What would he say about this? What would he say about your video game habits, your eating habits, your content consumption habits? Is there a chance that he will say, I'm so grateful that you consumed so much content. I'm so grateful that you scrolled through 7,000 Instagram reels this month. Thank you for doing that. I think there's probably a 0% chance that he'll say that to you. That version of me, I won't put the words in your mouth, but my highest version that I can kind of visualize, he's going to say that he's grateful that I meditate, that I journal, that I've reduced my screen time, that I spend more time with loved ones, with friends, with awesome people, being social. You want to achieve that version of you, right? You want to become that version of you as fast as possible. Well, then you need to start acting like them right now. And that version of you, they are not saying just 1 hour a day. If you want to share your thoughts on everything we discussed today, you can scroll down and then just write a comment with like your story of what you went through in terms of content consumption, video games, and just 1 hour a day coping. I try and spend some time reading the comments because it really helps me to feel purposeful in this work. I haven't really given you any real advice in this video because I just wanted it to be more of like a new insight for you. I've done a lot of videos where I've told you, no, you're a pussy if you play video games, you've got to quit and listen to me. But maybe the best advice I can give you is to listen to the highest possible version of you, future you, because he can guide you a lot better than I can. And I don't think he stood there looking over your shoulder today thinking like, yeah, that's it, my boy, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. I don't think the highest version of you saying that. I think he's looking at you like trying to pull you away, thinking like, what's got into him? Why does he keep doing these things? Why is he saying just 1 hour? Why is he logging back in to the Discord call with friends who aren't even real friends? Why is he just scrolling when he's not even enjoying it? When there's a whole world out there, there's books to read, there's infinite knowledge that you could absorb and to fulfill all of your curiosity, to master any skill of your choosing. And here he is, my little one, with his mouth open, scrolling. Maybe just take some time after this video ends and just really think about that. How do you become your future self faster? You can subscribe if you want to see videos like this on your homepage more often. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.